Have you ever put up with something that you didn't like for so long that you got to a point where you just had to say enough is enough? Well, guess what? Nintendo's own Masahiro Sakurai certainly has reached that point. In a recent interview, he flat out blasted third-party developers for their bad usage of DLC, calling them DLC scams. And really, no one was expecting this to really go in this direction at first. This all happened through an interview talking about the recent events in Smash Bros. And the successes that Nintendo has had through Smash Bros. And other games. Masahiro Sakurai, being the director of Smash Bros., was talking about their decisions on when and where and why they made DLC characters like Mewtwo and Lucas and the future DLC characters that people are voting on. And in this interview, he really began speaking from the heart and showing the difference between him and other game developers that he does not agree with. The first thing he really touched on was, he said, and I quote, "It is all about making the customers happy." And he is absolutely right. We can all agree to that and attest to that. People make games, of course it's for a profit, but at the end of the day, what really matters is making the customers happy. But then he went ahead and dug a little deeper by saying, these days, the DLC scam has become quite the epidemic, charging customers extra money to complete what was essentially an unfinished game. Ooh! Did that sting? Did that sting Activision? EA? DICE? Bungie? I know it had to sting some of y'all. Because this isn't just coming from just any old body. This Masahiro Sakurai is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, game developer of all time. And what he said was absolutely right. With the combination of same-day DLCs, a DLC that came out the exact same day as the actual game, which means it could have very easily just been part of the full game package. Next day DLC to try and give you the illusion that it came out later. No, it just came out the day after, acting like you didn't have the product ready beforehand. Or disc locked DLC. You're gonna give me a game and I'm gonna put it in my console and I'm gonna start playing it only to realize a percentage of the game that is on the disc is locked and the only way to unlock it is to pay you an additional fee, essentially meaning I'm paying for the same game twice. Are you serious? These methods have been employed way too many times, and it's about time somebody with some clout, with some power, with a reputation has actually stepped out and said something about this. I love this. I love the fact that he said this. I love the fact that he's putting it out there like that. Hopefully some people will actually catch on and realize that, hey, this should not be going on. Not at all. And I understand your reasoning behind it. You want to make money. But guess what? How you make money is through loyal customers buying your product. It is not right to try and scam those loyal customers by giving them a half-finished game and then selling them the rest of the game separately. And the worst part is, people fall for it. People fall for it without even recognizing what's going on. It's like, come on. It's like, think about what it would have been like if this would have happened in games in previous console generations. I mean, imagine if Mario Bros. 3 came out and you play the game through the first 7 worlds, and when you were supposed to get to the final world to finally fight Bowser, you found out, oh, I can't play World 8 until I pay an extra $20 to unlock World 8 as it is DLC. People would have been outraged. But yeah, for some reason, people who Call of Duty games keep getting away with this. Battlefield games keep getting away with this. Freaking Destiny is getting away with it. And I know some people might try to come out and say, well, he shouldn't really try and talk because Nintendo makes use of DLC. Very true, but you're forgetting, there is a way of doing DLC and there's a way not to do it. It's been around long before consoles were on the internet. This whole expansion thing, this whole additional content thing was already a thing on PC games, but it was never scammed. Originally, the way it was that you got a PC game and it was the full game. And you enjoyed that game, and then 6 months to a year down the line, if the game was successful and the company was making money off of it, they'd be like, hey, you guys love this game, you keep playing it, well guess what? Here's an expansion pack to continue the game from where you left off. You've already beaten the actual game that we've made for you, so now we're giving you an expansion pack with new goals, new content, new things to do. And that's the way expansion packs worked. And that's the way DLCs started off, and that's how they should still be working, but that's not the case anymore. Now DLCs are nothing but a ripoff. And the only game company, well, one of them, well, I won't say the only one, But one of the only game companies that's not ripping people off through DLC is, guess what? Nintendo. Case in point, Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 was the first game that they did DLC with, and when they brought Mario Kart 8 out, guess what? You got the full game. There was nothing missing from Mario Kart 8 at all. And then down the road, they announced 2 DLC packs, which both of them included 3 characters, 2 new cups, which meant 8 tracks per DLC for you to race on, and some new carts to ride in. Then, when they told us what the price was, both of them for $7.99 each, or you can get them together in a bundle for $12. 2 DLC packs for $12. If this was any of these other rip-off companies, the 2 DLC packs would have been sold separately as $20 each. And they wouldn't have been the first and second one. They would have been like the third or fourth one. The first or second DLC packs would have been part of the content that was in the game in the first place, that they would have separated and sold as separate DLC packs. But Nintendo didn't do that. They gave us a whole game and then DLC down the road. See, that's the difference that Sakurai was talking about. It's not about trying to squeeze money out of people. You want dedicated fans, then you need to be a dedicated game developer. It's not right to try and rip off your own fan base just to make a quick buck. But you know what the sad part is about this whole thing? The saddest part about this whole thing, and even Masahiro Sakurai's interview, was that at the end of the day, it's not gonna change a thing. The sad part is most of these third-party developers, even though, yeah, what he said may have stung because they know it's the truth, it's not going to stop them from actually doing it. They're going to keep on doing it. And the reason they're going to keep on doing it is because people keep on feeding into it. You guys keep on buying this stuff. For example, I am a huge fan of the Dead or Alive series. I love Dead or Alive. But when Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate came out, and I found out that they had 3 additional characters that was locked DLC, you could see them in the roster, but you couldn't play as them until you paid $20, which was actually more than what the actual game cost. I took it right back, got my money for it, and moved on. And I will not be touching another Dead or Alive game until they change the way they do things, until they go back to the way they were before they started trying to abuse DLC. And I'll do that with any other game that tries to rip me off, because I won't stand for it. I, for one, will not be scammed, and you shouldn't allow yourself to be either. A lot of us get on the internet and complain, a lot of us get on blogs and complain, a lot of us get every chance we get to try and complain about how these DLCs are unfair, but we're not complaining in the right way. As a whole, we're not. One of my favorite YouTubers, Gaijin Goomba, said it best. If you want them to stop, then you need to speak out with your wallets. Don't feed into it, don't buy it, don't support what they're doing. Because even if you're mad about it, even if you're screaming about how much you hate it, as long as you keep spending your money on it, that's all the support that they care about. They don't care about how much they piss you off, they care about how much you spend. Stop spending, and then they'll finally get the message and start changing their actions. So I implore anybody and everybody who is tired of being ripped off by DLCs. You see somebody coming out with a game and they're trying to give you a rip-off DLC, don't buy the game. Don't support the game. And if you already have the game, take it back with a long list of reasons on why you don't want to play that game anymore. And trust me, they will get the message and they will change. But that's the only way they'll get the message, because all these guys care about is money. That's it. They care about nothing else but money. And so I encourage anybody and everybody else who is tired of being scammed to do this. Don't fall for the crap anymore. Get up and say, we're not doing this, we're not buying this, figure it out. Make a quality game and stop trying to rip us off, because the truth is, we are the reason you exist. A game company, game developers, game designers, game producers, they don't exist without game players, the customers. We define the market. Don't let them try to tell you otherwise. So with that, share your thoughts with me in the comment section below about what you think about the whole DLC scam situation and about Masahiro Sakurai's approach to it. And like this video, share this video, and also subscribe to Die if you haven't done so already. So with that being said, till next time, my friends, take care of yourselves.